Guys, this week we're going to be looking at maintaining mount from the mount position, and he's going to be looking at all the things that I'll probably do from this spot. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is just pressing straight up. Okay, so we're going to press on the shoulders, he's going to swim through and get his hands on the floor. Try to make your shoulders wobble, okay? So as he reaches one arm through, the other arm goes back. It's much harder for me to hang on. All right, so the second thing we're going to look at is trying to trap an arm to buck and roll. If I get this arm here, he's definitely going to have to counter that buck and roll. So if he can avoid that, so however I grab here, he's just going to get that arm out. So he pulls his arm back, kind of like he's starting a lawnmower, slaps his hand to the mat, tries to get his arms a little wider each time. The next one, you can turn a little bit, is this knee to elbow. I'm going to get my elbow inside his knee here, and if I hip out and get my weight, get everything underneath me, it's difficult for him to stop. If as I'm getting my elbow inside here, he lifts and slides his knee up, this is a much worse mount here. And so he's just going to do that side to side. So one here, boom, reposition. So I'm going to dig that elbow in, dig that elbow in. They're going to get to move their hips a little bit. It's practice with other things too. The last thing I'll do is roll over and give him my back. So he wants to make this light, so he's going to keep his weight on my hands. I'm going to roll, and he takes the weight off my hips. Once my hips come up, he pushes his weight back, it's on his toes. See how his weight's right over my hips? That's important. That makes it harder for me to roll. If he throws his chest on my back, it's a lot easier for me to move him around. So this position's good. He gets his seatbelt now, keeping that weight back. He can stand back up. I can roll back to the bottom, and he can go back to that position. So have him go through that. Have him go through that in a series. So you're calling each one of those techniques, and then I want you to have them for a minute or 2 minutes. Have the person on the bottom push, he swims through, can go knee to elbow, do positions. I can just mix it up however I want here. So I keep him busy, and he has those good responses. All right, and then the last thing we're going to look at is the arm bar. And so all he's looking for is that elbow sticking out past his hip here. Okay, which side do you want? Okay, so he's gonna slide his knee up toward my head here, and see what he's doing with this hand here. This is not doing nothing. If my head moves as he changes that angle, there's no arm bar. So as he starts to set that up, he's framing my head and sliding that angle here. This is perfect. He's going to fold that left leg here. So now my arm is stuck with his body, not his arms. He doesn't have to use any energy to hold it. And he's going to control my hand. He fights for my arm in this position when he's got all of his weight on me. And then he's going to sit back and finish. He puts the leg over the head, and then he finishes. One of the big mistakes you'll see, and this is just with any class you teach this, is the person will start sitting back and then putting the leg over. And anybody that's trained for a while, that's what they're hoping you're going to do. They're hoping you lay back, and as that leg's coming over, they can sit up and end up on top and close guard and not have to deal with the arm bar at all. But that's it for this week. Should be fun.